What's up, guys? I'm SaltEMike, and this is your Star Citizen Week in Review for May 4th, 2026. May the 4th be with you. Patch 4.8 is rapidly making its way through the PTU phase. The DefenseCon marketing is now in full swing, especially with that battlecruiser push, and 2 extremely unique weapons were added into Star Citizen, and they're really fun. All that and more on today's Week in Review. And as always, if this is your first week in review, this is where I take all of the official Star Citizen news each week, put it into one video, and share some of my opinions about it. I also live stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/SaltEMike. So stop by and say hi if you haven't yet. I always enjoy when you guys stop by. No sponsor this week, so if you want to support, just enjoy the video. And if you actually did, just make sure you hit the like button. Subscribe if you're there as well. And yeah, with all that out of the way, let's talk 4.8 in patch note updates. All right, we start out on Monday with the 4.8 Wave 1 patch. The big thing here is they finally got the command module bugs fixed, and we can dock and undock from the host ship. It's really simple. Just get close and hit right Alt-N. After that, it's quite gimmicky, right? I think it's awesome that they're delivering on a promise of a ship that was sold to do these things, but I don't really see the point of why I want to do this. The best thing about this is just it's done. They can potentially move closer to ships like the Anvil Legionnaire, maybe, or maybe we can, drop mining bags with a button or something. But outside of that, it's just done, so they can work on something else. Also, the command module is kind of slow. So the situation I see, I'm locked down by a mantis. I undock from the host, giving up my cargo to them, like pirates or something, and saving my life. But I can't fly fast enough to outrun a mantis. So why would I do it? I also checked out Xenothreat missions for the first time, and they were fairly tough. I'm sure many of you can do it solo, but I think for most players, bring friends on most of the higher than entry-level missions, and they're usually just the higher paying out ones, so it's pretty obvious which is which. There is a reward track, as we spoke about last week. There are blueprints on the track, but so far, keywords so far, they are not account-bound on the PTU, so these might be wipeable blueprints that are earned in this event for just the alpha. Interesting. Let me know what you guys think about that. And just a little thing, they are limiting how many accepted missions you can have at any one time. This appears to be CIG's attempt to prevent massive group BP farming parties or event farming parties, right? You can only farm 10 at a time now. This is just a band-aid. 10 at a time is not making much of a difference, to be honest. And so, therefore, it's not much of a solution. Hopefully, they figure out something a lot more elegant at some point. Then we move on to Tuesday, where we moved all the way up to Wave 3. I thought, what a good time to get some of my org mates who are in Wave 3 or lower and try tactical strike groups. It was pretty fun. Things like these are starting to feel a little samey, though. I don't know what you guys think about this. Feels similar to Vandal Tech Smugglers a little bit. I kind of, have to say some of the puzzle stuff is pretty cool, especially the trench run stuff. But in the end, this PTU was really rough and the AI were barely functioning, which is sad. So I'll wait a while before trying to enjoy it again. It just didn't give that proper danger feel that you kind of want to see with this, right? A lot of people in the community were making comments about it's a little too easy. There's also a new ship there, the Vandal Mauler. You kind of fight it at the end, but you don't need to kill it. The mission's already over by then, and it just kind of sat there, so hard to say anything about that for me. And I also tried refueling missions for the first time in this build, and unfortunately, there was like a known issue around docking, so it never quite worked. The ship just wouldn't dock with me, but basically you go there, take out your nozzle, dock to their ship, and they finished by actually docking to you, is how it should be. And I don't know, just feels kind of whatever, similar to other things. Like I've been saying, it feels a little icky that the only reason that they're actually working on this is because they want to sell a new refueling ship, likely at IAE, instead of, hey, we really want to make refueling fun and useful and purposeful. Nope. We want to line our pockets. So it just doesn't feel right. Wednesday 4.8 stayed in Wave 3, and the main update was about flight suits. So they give a bonus to G-force tolerance, as you could see in the tooltips. The more armor you add, it adds negative G-force tolerances. So the idea here, I guess, is for pilots to not wear heavy armor anymore if they are flying maneuverable ships that hit high G-forces. The bigger ships not as relevant. The plasma grenade is also now here. You can pick it up at Cubby Blast in Area 18. I'm sure there's other locations. Leave them down in the comments where you can find the grenades. I went to Area 18. They are really bright and explode on contact. Not a timer like the traditional grenades, which is kind of cool. It's also really strong. Killed multiple NPCs before I walked into my own area and died in my own grenade. Don't be like me, guys. To be fair, the VFX wasn't quite working properly, so I didn't realize I was running into it. We will see proper VFX when we get to the Thursday patch, so wait out for that. But before we jump into that, there are a few changes not mentioned in the notes. EVA is fixed, which is awesome. A lot of people had a lot of problems with EVA in this PTU, and yeah, it was wild previously. Stack All is also back. I had a weird issue that nobody else said they had, where I had to press it 3 times, but it eventually worked. This is a huge fix. It's really, really important for things like gems and gem mining. And the lighting in the inventory looks a little bit better, but it is still super inconsistent. In future patches, it wasn't working well for me. And then mining. There is a massive change to it, and I don't know what to think about it. I don't know how to feel. It feels weird. There is very little variation now with quality of rocks. There are now 8 or so levels of quality in each mineral type. So every 700 quality laranite rock, you will see, like in this first clip, will always be 707 laranite. Every 800-ish quality will be 858, and so on. It's kind of pretending to be like common, uncommon, rare, legendary sort of like classifications. But then if it was iron, you would see different numbers, but they would be consistent with iron. So it's really weird, and I don't know. The idea here, I think, is to solve issues with storage. So we will now have much larger stockpiles of higher quality materials, which we hopefully can stack. We know we can't unstack them, though. The issue here is this removed a lot of variety in the weapons and items created, but again, this seems like a bit of a band-aid for now. I have to remind myself that with the crafting stuff, they were very good at communicating that all of these things are baby steps, but I really don't have the patience for that as much as I would like to after 14 years. But I should, because I've been begging for crafting. They're finally doing it. Also, it's the same for gems, the whole quality thing. What are your thoughts on this? Part of me absolutely hates it. Part of me understands, and it totally makes sense. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it plays out, but we're definitely going to need much larger stockpiles of things come 4.8 because we're going to be crafting components that take not CSCUs, SCUs of material. Then let's move on to Thursday, where we are still Wave 3 PTU at this point. The main content of this patch is the addition of these defend location missions. These involve enemy bombers, as CIG calls them, but they're ships that specialize in missiles, essentially. So you're not going to be going against A1s or A2s or other ships that have bomb racks or anything. I saw 100% Saber Firebirds in my entry-level missions. They were fun. The AI were smart but dumb, if that makes sense. They did the strafing runs, but they crashed into the fuel canisters too. So smart but dumb. Like, they were on some path that they were keeping, but the path definitely led to the wrong place. They also added these combination missions where you can do them solo, I guess, if you're using stronger ships or meta weapons, but they are easier with friends as you're required to defend the base and escort a ship out at the same time. Rewards are what you can come to expect from Foxwell type missions, UEC, script, faction rep. There are blueprints rewards as well. I got a ship component from the combo mission, which was pretty cool. I think it was a quantum drive or something. They did say a quick thing about Tactical Strike Group Polish, but the flight suits are next. There is now a message that shows in your ship that tells you about your flight suit performance, or in my case, the lack thereof. Also, you can get the suits in Cubby Blast and Grim Hex and stuff now. And probably one of the more exciting additions to the patch is the crossbow. The crossbow is now in. I tried it out in single weapon Elim, and yeah, I had a ton of fun. It's a higher skill weapon, I would say, so it probably wouldn't be a weapon I would use much in the PU, but as I've gotten used to it, I don't know, maybe I will. In the AC game mode, you are forced to have light armor, so it was always a one-shot, and that's kind of what made it fun. But the notes state that it's a 2-tap for heavy armor in the body or a one-shot headshot. Also, the plasma grenade now has its proper VFX, and it is a lot now. I think they should probably dumb it down a little bit. You can kind of see some like cloud fuzz in there. I think that that's maybe where it should stop. It almost should look like gas, I feel like, to me. Let me know what you guys think about the constant explosions, but you certainly will not miss where the damage is, that's for sure. Then Friday, 4.8, we went to Open PTU. So we'll start out with that fact. It's Saturday afternoon or morning-ish is when they went to Open PTU for Friday's PTU patch. Now, that is exciting, right? They're moving super quick, but here's the thing. First set of features, we tested refueling missions again, and they kind of worked now. The docking was much better. The NPC really does a nice job of connecting to my ship, but I did have a bit of issue with hydrogen fuel taking like half the tank for every mission, and it's like 3 full tanks for a medium mission with a larger ship. Something's up there. It's definitely not right. I'm sure they'll deal with it before we go to live. Next is ship hangar services. This is footage from recorded much earlier in the week. It was on Tuesday, I believe, because Friday I could not buy any material, and it was really annoying. It's a horrible bug where you can only buy 1 box in the inventory at a time, and then you have to go to your freight elevator, lift it up, get it out, and then go all the way back to admin to buy more. No thank you. I love you guys, but I don't love you that much to show you that one. I'm sorry. I can't do it. It was so painful. But in general, it works like this. You buy ammo, and the size correlates to the gun size, fuel, countermeasures, or RMC, and you can either repair, rearm, or refuel with it. Just like you do on a pad, but you're inside of a ship, and those commodities have to be on the cargo grid of the ship. Very simple, right? It's cool. It's awesome. It's simple. For Tactical Strike Group polish, they made it so turrets don't respawn anymore, but they really upped the enemies. So I talked to Mr. Kraken, and he did it this morning on like a 20-person server, and the AI were in much stronger ships and much, much stronger than what we had been seeing in previous PTUs. So this is no longer like a solo or bring one friend kind of thing. It's a bit more of a challenge, and that's really what they want this mission to be. So that's a good thing. We'll see what happens on live. It's probably not going to be very good, but the goal here for them is to kind of feel what they were feeling, right? The Hammerhead Gold Standard is next, and it's in. It just kind of looks like they did what they needed to do to Gold Standard it. But as Jared has been kind of hinting at, we're also assuming that we're going to see a variant for this as well. And last but certainly not least, we are doing some sort of weird armor weapon balance thing where they are kind of across the board made weapons fire rate a bit slower and attritions fire much faster. They're the current meta right now. So maybe they just like made a mistake there and they also nerfed a ton of ship armor, and they also really nerfed the Idris railgun, so it's meant for other cap ships, not smaller stuff, and if you get hit with one now, it's kind of on you. So that's the patch notes. Lots of stuff happened this week. We have no video updates. Let's move on to other updates. All right, well, this one is a new kind of sneak peek and a bit of a surprise, probably for Drake Defense Con, but it's an Origin System ship, a single-seater, but there's definitely an interior back there that you can just see behind the right side of the chair. Possibly some sort of a ramp back there as well. Almost looks like a racing ship, maybe. What do you guys think it is? Actually, don't bother because marketing can't even let us guess anymore. They posted this on Twitter like 10 hours after the sneak peek was posted because it was shared at a Chinese bar citizen with John Crew. It's an Origin heavy fighter, and it appears to be called the M80. Okay, not sure I see luxury meets heavy fighter from Origin, but I'm sure they cooked on the visuals, so kind of just interested to see what it looks like. Then, speaking of DefenseCon, the post is officially up with a countdown, a map of how to get there. It's at Area 18, ArcCorp Stanton this year. Actually kind of cool that we need to mention, not just the city, but also the system and the planet, because we have so many now, so that's kind of cool. It will take place on May 14th and go through May 27th, and there's also a video on the site that shows the Drake Ironclad, which is obviously the big highlight ship of the year. The video is linked in the description along with all of our other sources if you want to see it, the full video there. And it will have like all the manufacturers you come to expect, with the last couple of days being that big sale for their last concept ship, which we'll move on to. That is now the Odin that we know the name of. And we'll end on kind of the first bit of news that we really have of the concept ship other than Jared teasing stuff. There is now an Anvil Odin Founders Club that you have to write a letter to be allowed to join, as well as have spent at least $1,000 on the game. They have teased the ship forever, and it's two times the size of the Javelin, and it's been many years in the making. So I don't see any reason to be excited about this since the Javelin has been many years in the making. I don't know. I expect this one to cost like $4,000 to $6,000. Let me know what you guys think it's going to cost. Imagine having told yourself this, though. Like, think about the first time that you were like, I want to back Star Citizen. Imagine if this existed then, and it was 2012 and 2013, and I told you that in 2026, they would be selling a massive ship for thousands of dollars, and you would still not have Squadron 42 released, with no official release date, and no, like, actually functional video game experience really out of Star Citizen. Insane. And they're still going with insane chip sales. There also kind of appears to be a decent attempt at something here, and that is to let real backers who actually want the ship for themselves or their friends instead of resellers that have, in my opinion, have plagued any sale that has existed in the last like 5 years to get to it first. And they also like check other metrics other than how much money you've spent, it seems. So also playtime might play a factor here. So absolutely sound off in the comments about that. Would love to hear what you guys think about it. I just feel kind of numb to these things at this point because of what I mentioned before. Like, imagine, I don't think I would have backed this game if I knew what I knew now, right? We're still hoping it's successful, but yeah, I don't know. Crazy week. Tons and tons of stuff is happening while seemingly, certain things are just not happening, right? Like, we haven't heard much about Squadron 42 yet as far as, dates and stuff. And I don't know. It's hard to be super excited for this patch. I want to be, but I was so excited for last patch and there were so many problems. But I'm more excited about something that I haven't mentioned a ton about, just a tiny bit. Like, there are blueprints for things that are not combat related. Mining lasers, gadgets, quantum drives, shields. It's very cool. I feel like you're going to be crafting things and making things for people that aren't just pirates or PvP orgs. And that's something very excited for me. So, I don't know. Let me know what you guys are feeling about 4.8. I'm feeling kind of numb like I felt before. Like, I want to be excited, but I also don't want to be let down. And with that, guys, thank you so much for watching Week in Review. Do all the things, like, subscribe, all that stuff. And yeah, we'll catch you all next week.